Well, December 19th marked the 25th anniversary of the release of Titanic, one of the most memorable, noticeable, and most watched films of all time history in terms of cinema. So I wanted to highlight the release anniversary with a couple of facts that you might have not known about the film. At the time in 1995, when the film was going underway in terms of production, no film in the history of cinema ever had a $200 million production budget. And Titanic became the first ever film to have that production budget. And nowadays, it's kind of a norm kind of thing to have big budget films that are over $200 million. But it was so massive at that time that two production companies, Paramount Pictures and 20th Century Fox, had to collab with each other in order to make Titanic happen. Considering the historic implications of this production, a lot of people wanted roles in the film, and for the role of Rose, people like Reese Witherspoon, Nicole Kidman, Jennifer Aniston, Gwyneth Paltrow, Uma Thurman, Angelina Jolie, Madonna, and Charlize Theron were either considered or had auditioned for the role of Rose, and also a very young Lindsay Lohan auditioned for the role of Cora, one of the young passengers on Titanic. Along with those stars that auditioned for the role of Rose, Matthew McConaughey, Macaulay Culkin, Brad Pitt, Chris O'Donnell, Johnny Depp, and Christian Bale also auditioned for the role of Jack. And ultimately, we all know that Kate Winslet got the role of Rose and Leonardo DiCaprio got the role of Jack. It actually cost $7.5 million to make the ship back in the day, and when you adjust it to inflation, it would have cost $180 million, which actually is cheaper than the production value of the film itself. Gloria Stewart happened to be the only cast member to have been alive during the sinking of Titanic, and she, alongside Kate Winslet, were the only stars in film history to have played the same role in the same film and been both nominated for Academy Awards for their performances. My Heart Will Go On is one of the most famous songs of all time. It's sold more than 18 million copies worldwide, and people stayed in their seats even during the credits because the song was being played. But initially, James Cameron didn't want the song to be in the movie, but because James Horner and Celine Dion recorded it in secret and showed it to him later, he decided to go against his initial thoughts and put it into the film. And the rest, as we all know, is history. Titanic is one of the most accoladed films of all time, winning 121 awards, including 11 Academy Awards at the 70th Academy Awards ceremonies in 1998. That ceremony is still the most viewed in Academy Awards history, with 57 million people averaging as viewership during that ceremony. James Cameron took the biggest risk of his career by forfeiting his $8 million salary in order to make this film even happen in the first place. And in return, he would take back-end points for the film. That means he would get money later on. That money ended up being $650 million. Insane. A lot of people thought that the film was not going to make any money and become a huge disaster, but in the end, the film made $1.84 billion in its first run, becoming the first ever movie to make $1 billion and became the second movie to make $2 billion in the box office.